Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mewth24, and today I'm going to be showing off one of my custom kits. This is a kit that I kept procrastinating on. I said back when the Robots of All Nations contest that Tool for Toys was putting on that I was going to do 2 mobile suit paint jobs for that, and the first one that I did, the one that I entered into the contest, was the Gundam Avalon-X, which was the old non-grade Gundam X from the old 90s line of kits. That was a 1/144 scale model kit. And then the other one that I had in mind at the time, because I had a couple of ideas that I threw out right off the bat, because they were all cheap model kits, that was sort of the requirement for the contest, was that they had to be something that was like under 1,000 yen, I believe. Both of these were like 800 something, because they're not as advanced of kits as some of the newer stuff. But one of the other kits that I had in mind was the Epyon, because I really like the way it looks, just its design. As much as I'm not a big fan of Wing compared to other Gundam series, I've always really loved this design for a mobile suit in general. And I knew right off the bat that I wanted to do something very like militaristic with this, and so I went with more of like a World War I style military outfit or military colors. In this mobile suit, had I entered it, would have been associated with Germany. I did give it its own nickname, much like the X being called the Avalon-X. This one is called the Epyon Schattenkrieg, which would more literally translate to Shadow War. That has to do with the colors that I chose for it more than anything else. I knew I wanted like a military theme with it, but I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to name it until after the thing was done. I will admit right off the bat that I didn't paint everything on this kit, because by the time I had finished painting this one, I had already entered the Avalon-X, and I knew that was going to be the actual contest entry. So with this one, I did get a little lazy, admittedly, and just put some stickers in places that I didn't want to bother painting. So you have to forgive me if it doesn't look quite as nice overall as some of the other kits that I've painted up over the years. But here's the box for the old Epyon kit. We have Zex and the Epyon there, with the little green beam effect up above the handle there. Looking at the side, you do have the Wing Zero and the Nataku, it looks like, the Altron. Then this side's all covered up with stickers, but it would be, like the features of the kit in short, and then there's Zex and the Epyon again on the bottom. The instruction manual is pretty small, pretty simple, but I do like the little action shot they had there on the front. It's kind of cool. Looking inside, you've got showing how to transform it into its sort of dual-headed dragon mode. There's probably a real name for that. I don't remember what it was, but there's how to put the thing together and how to transform it, all in 3 pages there. And then, of course, some specs on the back and a shot from the anime, which is kind of nifty. This is one thing with these older kits, is most of their manuals are like 5-6 pages tops, and they all sort of fold out. So then we have a look at the Zex Marquis figure that you get with this. Much like the Ava kits, you have this little plastic figure, a little bit larger, and there's the paint apps that you would use to color him up. And there he is. He's not quite as big as the Domon Kashu figure with my God Gundam Master Grade, but he's still a decent size, I think. Then these are the leftover polycaps, which is super exciting. And then here are the stickers that you normally get with the kit. They're all like a foil metallic sort of color. They don't show off quite as bright as the sheet that they're printed on, because they are generally darker colors here with the purple and stuff, but there is a little bit of a shine to them, which is kind of nice. You also have the green, and then some gold parts for like the vents there, as well as the eyes for the face. So the colors that I used for this kit, as you can see, there's a lot of black on there, and I used like a glossy black for it. I used on the head, the wings and the shield, just sort of a basic red. I also used yellow on the bottom of the wings. For the blade, I used this sort of sea blue color on the beam saber there. And then for the majority of the body, where it isn't black, I used a combination of this olive matte and this flat olive. Olive matte is a different language. Sorry about that. Flat olive, and then a brown. And that was to give it sort of this very subtle difference in colors. And I like the way that it turned out there. The brown and the green are not highly distinguished against one another there, because they're very similar shades. and that was kind of what I was going for. And then also the silver for the beam saber handle, the little claw things on his arms, and the like chain whip thingy here. So taking a look at the colors on this kit up close, you may be able to make out that there is a little silver bit on that jewel in the chest. I put some black around that just to kind of distinguish it from the rest of the kit. For the most part, this black and green, or brown and green rather, like I mentioned, does blend pretty well, I think. It might show up a little bit better on camera, the difference between the two colors, just because I got this bright light off to the side. The blade is pretty dark, just because of the shade of blue I chose, but I also gloss coated that for the top coat, so it does have sort of a shimmery look to it. The silver has just sort of a shine because of the color it is. For the most part on this kit, though, if I remember right, and this might be a little bit inaccurate because it has been a while since I actually painted this kit up, but I believe what I did was I painted it over with gloss coat first when I painted everything, and then did a top coat over, or a flat coat over top of that. So I think that's what I did because I want it to be like sort of shiny on the wings here, but not real glossy. Gloss coat was what I used mostly for the Avalon-X, whereas with this one I want it to be, you know, more of a military look, so I did flat on the top there. One thing you might notice here is the leg is a little bit wobbly. That's not really anything I did, it just kind of came that way, and I thought maybe because I was painting this kit up it might make it a little bit more firm. Doesn't seem to be the case, but it doesn't like fall off or anything, it just kind of wiggles back and forth, which is a little strange, but you know, not a huge problem, I guess. Here's a shot of the back. Maybe I can hold it up from the bottom there a little bit better. And you can see it's a lot more colorful from the back just because you can make out the whole of either wing there. You've also got the back of the head, kind of those bits on the side shooting back and the V-fin on the top shooting back. You've also got these little black thrusters in there. And I just painted those a different color because I wanted them to, you know, stand out a little bit, but not a ton there. And then you've also got the other beam saber handle sticking out of the waist there. Now this kit does transform, and it's kind of a parts former, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut to the transformed Epyon, but basically all you're going to do is you're going to take these back skirt pieces out, and you notice there's little tabs here, and what you're going to do is there's a tab already plugged into the back skirt right now. You'll pop those out, flip them in the other way, and plug them in with these tabs, and then you'll just take the legs and flip them up and over the back so that it basically covers the head and looks like a flying two-headed dragon. So go ahead and transform this guy. Once he is fully transformed, you do get some decent length to him. As you can see here, that tail whip bit does extend quite a ways back, and it's actually bent in a little bit. So there it is, fully straightened out. I do like the way that the wings look when they're spanned out like that, especially in those colors with the yellow on the back, kind of just tapering off in the color there with the brightest at the back. The one thing that is kind of interesting with the folding over of the legs is that you flip the legs up and straighten those out to make the sort of dragon head things, but then you also take the like waist joint at the torso and flip that up. And if you don't do that, you may find that these heads don't quite go as far as you want them to, but really you just have to flip that up. It goes up easy enough. It's just something that's kind of easy to forget when you're transforming this guy. Now, these back skirt armor pieces do look kind of weird just pointed up like that. The hands don't look too bad, the little claws there. Although the proportions on this kit, being as old as it is, they are a little underwhelming, I guess, and kind of weird looking. When you look at it from the top, it's not as bad because it's supposed to be this flying dragon type thing, and even with the wings sort of in like that, it doesn't look half bad. But it's just like when you look at it from the side, it just looks like a bunch of bulk just kind of stacked up on top of each other. And looking at it from underneath, you'll just see there's a ton of kibble and left over there. So not nearly as good as some of the newer takes on the Epyon. But then again, this is like an 800 yen kit, which translates to like $8 or $9 US. So not a whole lot cost-wise, at least. So in that, it's not like you should expect the best out of this kit. But that's pretty much it for this custom kit. Like I mentioned, I think the stickers being used on this are a little bit lazy compared to the other kits that I've painted up, but with them already on there, I didn't want to bother taking them off and repainting them. Maybe I'll do that sometime in the future But for now, I'm kind of happy with the way this thing turned out. It's kind of cheesy, but kind of cool, I think, which was kind of the angle I was going for with both this and the Avalon-X. So that's pretty much it for this custom kit, and with that, I will see you guys next time.